All right. So last time, you guys fought the final three champions of the Alket, who were posing a pretty big threat to you guys. One of them, who since talking to Aqua on the ship, you guys learned was the old leader of the Black Eagles, named Buck. There is also, you also fought a satyr type creature named Willow, who is the champion of Airy Airy. Buck was the champion of Ibo. This is information that you guys won't specifically need to keep written down, but if you'd like, you can do it. Um, and then you also fought Iolite, who was Alphonse's um, ex girlfriend. Um, and after fighting her, she was disarmed, and she was ex, as in she died. That's why.
Late girlfriend.
So I lost my train of thought. Thank you so much. So after you guys fought her, Alphonse was the one who took the final blow, killing the champion of Hemi. After this, you guys explored a little bit more into the administration of the Alket, where you found it appeared to be the head office of whoever ran the or not the IUP, the Black Eagles, and the administration. So that would have been Aqua's old office. In there was a tank filled with a brackish black liquid that was very thick, and it filled about an inch tall basin at the bottom of the floor that spread 6 foot by 6 foot. And after dealing with some difficulties, you guys were able to overcome this hold that uh, now you know your red had on you guys. But the only person who was not able to uh, escape this was Alphonse. And Alphonse fell into the liquid and came back out as a hideous crystalline monster with mechanical wings made of holograms and large horns. So this first part of downtime will take place right after all of this happened. Nova has been taken to the medical bay where she's being tended to by a group of medical drones. And then the rest of you are free to do as you please. I'll say that we'll say that Aqua has taken to the administration office, which would be where the warden sat. But you guys can roam freely. This won't be anybody's specific interactions yet, so you guys can interact with each other as you please and discuss maybe things that happened last time if you like.
I have one with Jin if we want to get that over with real quick.
I'm excited to hear this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm gonna walk up to Jin
Jin, where are you
and
currently?
Uh,
What room of the ship are you in?
the one with walls.
Uh-huh.
The one room, the chapel.
The chapel. Okay, so you enter into the chapel, which at this point Jin has kind of taken it on his own because nobody else really used it. And there's lots of incense and candles burning. There's a large, what you would describe as like a bonfire pit that appears to have a ventilation, a ventilation hatch installed right above it, that lets the smoke come out of the top of the ship. And
Kat,
and Jin is kneeling right in front of that.
Kane's gonna walk up to Jin and wait for him to like notice him or look up.
Yeah, Jin, you definitely hear his footsteps behind you.
Yes.
Hey, and I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Jin, do you want to go ahead and roll brace for impact? Easily you see his fist coming towards you and you just kind of move out of the way a bit.
I know it wasn't your fault, but I needed to do that before that all built up. Uh, I know you didn't mean to cut her arm off. I hurt someone as well. I'm sorry. Just need to get that out.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And then I'll walk away.
Okay. Yeah, so after that very adrenaline pumping action scene of Kane walking into the room and swinging at Jin and just completely whiffing it. We'll switch over to anybody else who wants to do anything quick before we do specific interactions. Athena, Ataxia, do you guys want to do anything on the ship before we get started?
I'm just in the. Is it the bedroom or is it the barracks?
It would be considered the barracks.
That's what it's called. I got it right. I'm just gonna be in there and I guess my bed or whatever, and just like facing the wall.
Okay, so yeah, you are in the a pretty simple space, but your bunk bed. You were rooming with the grandma and her children, but since then they are not there. So on your part of the bunk bed, I assume there's a bunch of decorations on the ceiling and on the wall, and you're just laying in there, doing what Taxia does. I guess. Are you sleeping?
No. She's kind of just like thinking.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. You can sit and just think about what happened, and we'll do Athena. Athena, what are you doing? We can do your full interaction if you like.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Okay. So you walk down the large, unfamiliar hallways. Not large, but pretty cramped, actually, hallways. You walk a couple of... It takes a couple minutes to get to where you're going, as you're not super duper familiar with this place. But you do eventually find the med bay, and you see Kane just step out of the hallway, or step back into the hallway, and he walks past you, assumedly towards the barracks, because everybody's very tired.
I have no blood.
Yeah. So, yeah, Kane's gonna go take the day off. We'll say that you could get a transfusion from the med bay. We'll give you 3 blood points back.
Okay.
And Athena, I assume you walk into the medical bay.
Yeah.
Right, so you step into the very clean medical bay. There's a couple of drones that are still flying around. A couple of them are doing blood work, just making sure that she's okay. On that front, some of them are cleaning up a recently taken off gauze and changing the gauze on her on Nova's arm as you see her sat up, and she's shirtless, but she has like some she has a sports bra and she's got some wrappings on her stomach from some broken not from some broken ribs, but from some bruised her bruised abdomen, and she's sitting up and her hair is in a tangly mess, and she's got some makeup that is since smeared from like pain-filled tears. And they change the gauze pad, and she sort of grunts as one of them gently twitches from the movement of the ship, and she smacks it out of anger with a pretty big thunk, and it just gets back to doing what it's doing. The large silvery chrome circular drone with the little pincer-like arms that are changing the gauze on her arm, and she looks up at you. Hello. Can I help you?
Sorry, this is a really bad time to do introductions, but I needed to come here for my own reasons as well, so I thought it would be a plus to get to know you and to fix myself up. Kinda.
That makes sense to me. Well, my name's Nova. Nova of the Snow Moon. And you are...
I'm Athena. I can't really remember my last name. Sorry.
Oh, I understand. Us Lunar Elves, we don't really get last names, so, you know, we just say of the... Insert one of the 8 million moons here, you know?
Yeah, I guess it.
Normally, I'd probably be much more upset, because it's another girl that I have to worry about around my boyfriend. But I'm on a hell of a lot of painkillers, so this is probably the best time you could have chosen to meet me.
Well, you don't have to worry about me going after your boyfriend. I'm not looking for that. Plus, don't think he would like me anyways, so we don't have to worry about that.
Well, that's alright, I suppose. Don't much care for that Ataxia girl, but that was forever ago, so... Oh. Anyway, is there anything else I can do for you?
No.
Normally I'd say I'm a licensed psychiatrist because I work with children, but Currently, I am hopped up on a million different drugs that I don't even know the name of.
Understand that.
And she sort of, once the robot goes back, she reaches over and puts her shirt back on, and she stretches one arm and tries to stretch the other, but there's some visible pain on her face. Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that just yet. I would be careful on the arm. Common sense, but some people need reminded.
What are you, some kind of doctor?
Sort of like that.
Well, at this point, you'd be better than Wee Woo.
I wouldn't go that far.
And she reaches over and she pulls out a packet of cigarettes, and she strikes one up. Oh, it's been a while since I've hit one of these, but you know, circumstances.
Usually I wouldn't condone that either, but considering the circumstances, I'll let this one slide.
Thanks. You're probably not a very good doctor then.
No, probably not.
Well, I should probably hit the hay, huh? Unless you have anything else for me.
That's about it.
Alright. Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, it's no problem.
If you need anything, once I'm feeling better, just let me know.
Same goes for you too.
Alright. Well, good night. And she lays back down and she takes a big puff of her cigarette and the lights dim. Are you doing anything else in the hospital bay?
No, I'd say she was patching herself up while talking, so no, I'd say she's fine.
Go ahead and roll a expertise roll. Patch yourself up.
9.
Okay. Yeah, so you are able to take, do you have any injuries currently? Be on the back page of your character sheet.
Back pages. Oof, hold on.
Take your time.
I'd imagine Kane is spending.
You
I
cut
think
out.
I had a minor.
Yeah, you can go ahead and you're good now. And Kane, you cut out before we heard anything.
Yeah, I was just saying. I'd imagine Kane was spending a lot of time in the med bay.
Yeah, but we'll say that Nova was like, "Go to bed, you idiot. You need sleep."
Okay.
And you happily obliged because you were very tired. Yeah, so...
I have a severe injury. Can I get that treated?
Yeah, you, we'll say you did that during the day, and I'll give a roll for that. Yeah, so you were definitely able to, take that severe injury down to, I believe that would be... Oh God, what would that be? Would that be a major or a minor?
Yes. Major.
Major. So yeah, you were able to take that down to a major injury. While you're not feeling great, you're definitely feeling better. They were able to the drones were able to stabilize you along with some help from probably Wee Woo and occasionally Athena. You guys were able to. We'll say that everybody can take that roll. By the way, get knocked down a couple injuries.
Nice.
As you guys were pretty well taken care of on the ship.
How many is a couple? Like major
Two.
to none?
2.
So so major to none?
Yeah, you're good.
Hey, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll... So, Kane, it has been about a week since the ordeal. I'll say that you guys stopped off on a small planet to make your rounds. You guys were able to refill on supplies, fuel up, and all of the bits and bobbles. You would notice that everybody's been a little bit quieter since all of this happened. The loss of Uni definitely has taken a big toll on Aqua because she knew him the most. You don't know much about her, but she's there. The captain's having a little bit of... he's having a harder time than everybody else, but every time people want to talk to him, he says he doesn't want to talk about it. He's been through this kind of thing before. He went through trauma therapy. He'll be all right. So really, there's no one here for you to talk to. But as you are walking down the. We'll say that this is a pretty. It's not a grimy city, but it's also not great. This city's a bit smaller. It's surrounded by like pine trees, stuff like that. You're walking on a pretty cracked sidewalk. You see a couple of worse for wear looking cars drive around. You can pass some buildings with not very much things in stock. And you stop at a nicer looking part of the city. You sit down on a park bench, and you are looking around at this park that's filled with a couple of different children. You see some Raydorans taking care of adopted children. You see Terrans with their clearly biological children, and you even see a couple of synthetic humans going out on a date. So this place seems to be pretty, at least racially, diverse. And I'll say that you even see a couple of elves running around. Not many, but you've seen a couple throughout the city. So you're sitting on a large, we'll say metal park bench that's engraved with somebody's name on it. Probably somebody who was alive a couple hundred years ago who they made the park for. So you sit down on the bench, and after, we'll say 15 minutes of you sitting here, a gentleman walks up beside you, and he asks if the seat is taken beside you.
Oh, of course not.
The man sits down, and he takes off his red hood. He's wearing like a dark red, you wouldn't call it hoodie, maybe a cardigan with a hood on it. And he appears to have some sort of, not armored, but mesh weave body glove underneath, and he's wearing a pair of black camouflage army pants and big black combat boots. And he sits beside you. He seems pretty out of place, but you can assume that he sat next to you because you both seem out of place. But what strikes you the most is when he sits down and takes off his hood, he unfurls a large, messy white bun, and it falls a flat, straight white hair that comes to a widow's peak. And you see his skin is gray and his eyes are white, and one of his floppy elven ears has a large chunk cut out of it.
Oh. You're wearing a lot of armor for a park.
So are you.
I'm not wearing any armor.
Ah, fair enough. Pretty stupid. What's your name?
No, I'm Kane. What's yours?
Oh boy. It's nothing important. You from around here?
Nah,
No? Alright. I'm not either.
yeah, I'd imagine not.
Terra 5 myself.
Nah, I've been living in New Korea recently.
I heard the Koreans are having a little bit of a spat due to some recent terrorist attacks. Pretty crazy going on there. Well, and he turns over, and you notice something very strange. Normally with a blood elf, they would have two white eyes. But this guy has one white eye and one blue eye. Deep and sapphire in color.
Hmm.
Well, I don't suppose you recognize me.
No, I do not.
It's fair enough. Father was always kind of a jackass. So, you know.
What?
Oh, sorry, my father's a jerk.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with any of this?
Did you ever know your mother?
No, I don't know really either of them.
Strange.
I was kind of pulled right into the war as a baby.
Yeah, sorry for that. It's a little bit of my friend's fault, but you know how it is. Oh.
You wanna, clear all that up real quick? Cause I don't know what's happening.
Oh. Which part?
Literally any of it. Like, how do you know me? How are you connected to the moon?
Oh. Oh, okay. Will, you never met your father, you never met your mother. We share a mother.
Oh.
Yep.
Were you born on the snow or the blood?
I was born with the blood moon myself.
I haven't seen a mix of the two races in a really long time.
It happens occasionally. Well, not really. I'm not really a mix of the races, you see. Well, that's a lot to unpack, but we'll say for the sake of conveniency, my father was very, very connected to the snow moon. Leave it at that.
Okay. So, part of the war, or did you leave at a young age?
Oh, I was never in the war.
You never were?
Nope.
You got lucky.
Other wars and other planets. You know how it is.
Yeah. So, what are you doing here?
Well, I wanted to come meet my brother, and he punches you in the arm. Baby boy, and he ruffles your hair. Figured they would have told you a little bit more about me, but since they weren't around, you know how that is, right?
Yeah, I'm sure you understand about how skeptical I am. A random blood moon walks up to me and claims to be my brother to make some sort of connection.
It's fair.
You do know who I am to them. I assume you do.
Oh. Were you the ones that killed all them people?
Yeah.
I heard about that. Not really
So you definitely know why I'd be concerned.
It's not really my place. Like I said, I'm more snow moon leaning myself.
I mean, me too.
Clearly.
But, can I roll something to see how truthful he's being?
Influence.
7.
He seems to be 100% telling you the truth.
Okay.
Oh. Well. So I think I'll head out.
Yeah, wait. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
You just wanted to meet me. That's all.
Well, I was hearing from a couple of different people that you were going through a rough time, so I just wanted to come in and check on you, make sure you didn't do anything stupid.
Who knows where I am?
Oh, well, I guess people isn't really the right term then, isn't it?
No, I wouldn't assume so.
Let's just say some other interdimensional beings decided to get in contact with me, let me know that you were going through a rough time in the, what was it called? Oh, administration. Yeah, they told me about that. They wanted me to come check on you, make sure you didn't go insane.
Well, I think that happened a long time ago, friend.
Well, that's fair enough.
You sure you don't want to give me your name?
Well, I want you to take a guess.
I mean, if we're going off of history, I'd assume it's Abel.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose...
Well, good thing I didn't kill you then.
Yeah. I'm not going to kill you. It's not my thing. I don't kill people.
What's with all the armor then?
To make sure I don't get killed.
Make a niece?
Yeah, he stands up and he turns and looks at you. You know, generally when you're a spirit of the snow moon, people tend to not really like you. And he walks away behind a tree and you don't see him leave.
Oh, okay.
And we'll go ahead and... So, it's been, we'll say at this point, it's been about a week or 2 weeks and a half. I'll say that you, Ataxia, you're on the ship. been parked at
So-
this been parked on this planet for a couple of weeks now. Would Kane have shared his experience?
Nah, absolutely not.
Okay. Nothing crazy has really happened yet. You guys are just keeping safe and making sure that nobody's following you. The captain has been making sure that definitely no IEP soldiers can track your positions. But it's a pretty nice day in the magnum opus starship. So what would you like to do today?
I'm going to pull Nova aside.
So at this point, Nova has gotten herself not a robot arm, but she's gotten neurally implanted scaffolding. It's called. It's metal bars that go on the outside of the fingers, the wrist, and up the arm, and connects to her shoulder. She's able to move her fingers freely, but she does have a metal like skeleton around her arm. And she is sitting. We'll say she's sitting in the barracks, and she's smoking a cigarette. Oddly enough, and she's sitting at a desk. Not a desk, maybe a table, like a card table. And she has her feet crossed, and in the other hand, she has a pen, and she's writing down some notes on a document regarding recent cases that she's began taking up since for the past 3 days she decided she wanted to get back to work.
Hey,
Oh, sorry. What's going on?
do you mind if I talk to you in the atrium?
She squints at you, and she looks back down at her paper. I don't really have time for games right now, Taxia.
Do I sound like I'm messing around?
She looks up at you again, and she looks in your eyes. And she snuffs out the cigarette into an ashtray, and she stands up and stretches her robot arm. She goes, "You said the atrium?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go." And she leads you to the atrium and opens the door behind you. She asks Aqua to leave, who's sitting on a bench there, and she happily obliges and walks back into the office room.
I'm gonna sit on a swing.
And she, at this point, you didn't notice before, but she did grab a chair, a foldable chair, and she sits it right next to you. What's on your mind?
I just been thinking a lot recently. And I know it's crazy for me. And I know you don't like me. I do know that, and I know no one here likes me.
It's not...
But you said that you would be here to talk to me, and I'm here. And I just... And she's like holding onto her shoulder, and like she's like digging into it, and like it kind of starts to bleed a little bit. And she's looking down on the floor, and she's like, I've been running from my past forever. And I've been...
Yeah? Go on.
And you got... It just keeps on being brought up. It's ringing my head.
Well, it's a crazy thing, the past,
But no one understands. You all treat me like I'm an idiot.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I definitely don't think you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
It's hard to believe. All I've ever done is run. And I think I'm done with running. It's finally caught up to me. I just want to know, how do I become normal?
She laughs. Normal? You want to be normal? Ataxia, you of all people should know being normal isn't really something that just happens. And in fact, I'd say it's a terrible thing that happens when it does. Because
Pro-
because
I-
let me continue. Sorry. Because being normal insinuates that you need to change to get people around you to like you.
That's exactly what I want.
Hmm.
No one likes me.
That's not true.
Your boyfriend wouldn't even dance with me.
That's because my boyfriend is totally and utterly whipped.
I don't know what that means.
Oh god. You'll understand.
I didn't even have a proper education. No one knows what happens, and no one even asked. I know that I push people away, but I just need someone to talk to. Even though all I do is talk.
Well, I told you that I'd be here to listen. So, tell me, what happened to you?
I was 8, and my father was a weapons salesman. You know, he makes weapons.
Of course.
And my mom was a doctor. So,
And what were their
I,
names?
uh,
What were their names?
I, I don't.
We'll say they're just mum and dad.
Yeah, and something happened, I guess. And these people came in, knocking at the door. I was in the living room, of course, and they came in and they threw this weapon at my dad. And they were arguing, and I don't remember what they were saying. And then before I knew it, they were on the floor, and they were bleeding. And it's hard. I, and I couldn't even say anything to them. I couldn't even save them. I grabbed the weapon they threw at my father, and I shot them, and I exploded the house. And that's how I got my rocket launcher. And I didn't even think about like calling the police, or maybe I could have saved them by calling the police, but all I did was grab everything and run.
What you did was an understandable reaction to something like that. And I know it was hard. But
But no one's.
you gotta tell yourself, it wasn't your fault.
I know it's not. But I feel like if I did something then I would have been treated differently. Maybe people would have liked me. If I wasn't so cracked beyond, if I wasn't so broken beyond repair.
Ataxia? If that wouldn't have happened, we would have never met. You wouldn't be who you are today.
And maybe you wouldn't have not liked me.
That's because I wouldn't have known you. And currently, I like you a hell of a lot.
How?
Because you've taken the first step into getting better. You don't have to be normal. There's no normal in this world. But you can get better.
Will people like me once I'm better?
It doesn't matter what people think of you.
I want to be on a team where people care about me.
Ataxia, I can already tell you that you are on a team of people who care about you.
You think so?
Yeah,
I'll believe it when I see it.
let me tell you something. You notice how Kane didn't instantaneously attack Jin when Jin detached my arm?
He definitely felt it.
Yeah. Normally, if he didn't care about people, something like that would have caused him to attack Jin, but he didn't. Because Kane is a caring person and he understands people's trauma.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Then why did he say Octavia?
Because maybe he didn't know.
He
And
clearly knew I had an issue with it.
I can't say what he did was right. But I can say I don't think he meant to hurt you as much as he did.
I doubt it.
That Jin fella seems awfully enamored with you.
Yeah, right. With me. I don't even have proper clothing. I just wear a bra and shorts.
Well,
My socks aren't matching. My eyes aren't matching.
how about this?
I'm a freak.
You're not a freak.
Yeah, huh?
You're just unique. I like that about you. But if you really want, I'll take you to the store right now and we'll get you some clothes.
Do you like me like this?
I do.
And I'll stay like this.
Well, we've got a lot more to talk about. Why don't we go get a cup of tea or something and we can talk
I
about
haven't had. What is tea? Is it like the watered version of coffee?
No, it's like shitty dried leaves with boiled water. I like it. Come on, let's go get some. Me and you.
Okay.
And she holds your hand as you guys walk out. And you guys are passing by Kane. And she looks at Kane and she looks at you. And she pulls her hand back and she just slaps him across the face.
Ow.
Talk to you later, sweetheart. And she gets on her tiptoes and she kisses you on the cheek. And you and
I'll stick my tongue out at him and flip him off.
And you guys go hang out and talk about your feelings with each other.
Bro, Ataxia literally needs to have one real conversation with Kane and so much would happen.
It's a late night, you'd say about 3 a.m. You're knelt in front of your ceremonial bonfire that vents out the top of the ship. Your sword's to your side and your straw hat has been taken off and laid to the ground. And you are in a deep prayer with the Lord Senso. You're taken in a vision to a far-off place. It's a land with crimson sky and a deep, deep blue grass. Sitting in front of you sits a large, large coil of scaly skin. And as you approach slowly, the coil unfurls, and a large dragon figure with long wispy whiskers and deep, deep blue eyes with slits bends down and looks at you. And with each word, a puff of steam boils from the nose. Yamamoto Jin, you've come to my plane of existence for the first time in months. Why do you wish to speak with me in such a physical form as this?
I need to talk about getting those souls for you.
And he smiles. A big, large smile. You would like to revoke my power?
No.
Then what do you ask of me?
I just need some I honestly don't know where I'm going with this, TBH.
You would like guidance?
Yes.
And the blue-scaled dragon pulls back and looks towards the sky for a moment. And looks right back at you. Is it the amount of death you're inflicting on the world that is concerning you?
Yes, but I fear it's not enough to please you.
Currently, you are in debt to me by a large number of souls. I can tell you this to put you on the path towards my forgiveness. There is one individual you currently know who bears multiple souls in their body. You slay this individual at any point, and you will put me at ease.
Yes, Lord Sensei.
I think when you go back to the physical realm, you will know exactly who that is. And maybe, if you complete this task, I will let you speak to Aiko Yamamoto.
Do you mean that?
We will see.
Yes, Lord Sensei.
And blue fire begins to erupt from his mouth, and it engulfs you. And in a flash, you're in a dark, dark room. And you notice that you're in a hotel room. It's a big, heavy, wooden entertainment center holding up a plasma screen TV that's playing some sort of football-esque game. You look down, and you're standing in front of a king-size bed. One figure, glimmering white hair reflected by the shine and the light of the TV. Her blue eyes are closed, and she's laying to the left. And laying to the right, you see Kane, asleep, lying on his back. And I believe the sword's name was Dragon's Breath?
Yeah.
Dragon's Breath's point is but a centimeter away from Kane's temple, or right in the middle of his forehead, I mean. And it spins slowly in the air, as if waiting for you to attack. Your hand is not holding it, it's floating in front of you. What do you do?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
You want me to give you some options?
Yeah.
Well, you would take this to mean that the Lord Senso wants you to kill Kane. So you can either do that right now, or you can take the sword and do it at a later time.
Oh, fucking no, dude. Yeah, I'll just do it later.
Okay. So you reach out, your hands shaking and clammy. You grasp the end of the sword, and it sizzles a little bit, and your hand is burning for just a moment as you pull the sword away from floating in the air and you sheath it. And without making a noise, you step out of the room. So at this point, it's been about 3 weeks since the battle at the administration. And you all are sitting around a round metal cafeteria table on the ship of the starship Magnum Opus. Sorry, and you all are sitting around. We'll say that nobody else is here. It's just you guys all sitting around having meals, except for Athena. She doesn't eat, but she's just hanging out.
Imagine not eating.
Oh,
Okay, funny. Okay, but if
Couldn't
you don't have to
be
eat, then you wouldn't have to worry about dying of starvation.
wowie! One thing I don't need to worry about.
So it's
At least I don't need to worry about a cup of water.
Oh god. Okay.
True.
So you guys say anything? You're all sitting around having a meal.
How's everyone feeling? I'm sure they feel great after all of what just happened a little bit ago.
Shut up.
Wasn't that about 3 weeks ago? Can't imagine everybody's doing too bad.
You ever figure out why your girlfriend slapped you?
What? She did
Yes.
what?
Yes, you figured out why your girlfriend slapped you. It's because you called Ataxia Octavia.
Yeah, it wasn't super hard.
I wish it was harder.
First of all,
Odd phrasing.
That's what she
Nice.
said. That's what she
I
said.
didn't say it. I said that's nice, but
I know, but that's what she said.
That was really good. I appreciate that.
I was going to say that, but I didn't know if I should.
Who ordered the plain white rice?
Everyone looks at Jen, audible blink.
It's the server drone.
I would say Jen's probably just staring at the table, mulling things over.
Who ordered the plain white rice?
What's he mulling over?
Who ordered the plain white rice?
I did.
It was me. It was me. It was me.
Here
Please
you
stop.
go. Enjoy the plain white rice. Remember, tip your server, and it flies away.
I'll slide the rice over to Jen.
Jen, you're looking
Interesting.
You're looking intently at the metal table as a fuck.
Hello?
As an alarm
As an alarm goes
as an
off.
alarm goes off. As a bowl of white rice is slid in front of your face.
Can I
Back a little bit.
peek? Like, can I go scooch to next to him and put my head on his shoulder and look up at him and look down at what he's looking at, and I'm gonna be like, "So what you looking at?"
This rice, apparently.
What you thinking about?
Many different things.
Yeah? Got a few in mind?
I was actually thinking about visiting some family sometime.
Can we meet your family?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't think you'd like them very much.
Well, I'm sure if they're just like you, they'll be very nice.
Right. I mean, if you want to tag along,
We have to.
Okay. So, do you guys do anything else?
Yeah. Hey, Ataxia. Quick word, if you don't mind. If you do, whatever.
You know what? Sure. What's up?
Alright, let's, you wanna head over to the side, or, we can talk about this right here. It's all up to you.
You know what? You chose, so you can choose.
Alright, let's, step off to the side.
Alright.
You guys step off to the side.
I have been informed by my very lovely girlfriend and a very hard slap that the things I said have probably hurt your feelings greatly. And
I figured out what I have, and I'm pretty sure I was triggered by PTSD, so thank you.
yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know it was as bad as it apparently was.
It's pretty bad.
But I only said it because, you called me, like a murderer or something like that. Which, I've killed people, so have you. But there's a part of me that doesn't like that. So, I'm sorry. Can we move on?
I'm sorry I said that. I am. But I just want to figure out why you don't like me.
I think you have the wrong impression and think I, like, despise you or something like that. Like I don't like anything about you, and that's not true.
Hmm.
I would much rather spend a multiple weeks on a spaceship alone with you than going back to set.
To what?
Cutting out.
What part did I cut out?
Spend multiple weeks alone then.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather spend weeks alone with you on this ship than, say, go back to my home planet for literally any amount of time, because everyone there is absolutely terrible.
That seems like a
But,
last resort.
I mean, yeah, I was just trying to give an example. I don't like a lot of people, and you and I have different personalities, but I'd like you to know I wouldn't be here even talking to you right now if I, disliked you.
Mm,
If you think what other people think of me means anything to me at all, really, you don't know much about me. So trust me when I say I don't dislike you.
I'll see it when I believe it.
You,
I guess so.
Kate, you see out of the corner of your
Oh, I
eye.
believe it when I see it. There we go.
You see out of the corner of your eye, you see Nova peeking in because I didn't tell you this, Kane, but we'll say that before this, she was the one that was like talk to Ataxia, and you see her from like the doorway, and she like gestures for you to say more.
Do I see her looking
No,
at?
you do not.
Do I see him
So,
look away?
No, you don't see her.
so, at
But
some point in the future, I'd like for us to get to know each other a little better.
I've known you for how many weeks has it been? How many months has it been?
I don't know. It's been a long time, but I've been spent most of that time thinking about my stuff and, killing people. So it's been kind of distracting.
Well,
So,
I've always made an attempt to talk to you. I feel like I have,
when?
and I don't know. I always
Please,
talk. I
please give
always
an
chatter.
example. Oh yeah, you always talk about stuff, but what of importance have you talked about with me?
I don't know, man. I, I think
I'm not. I'm not saying I'm in the right here,
I
but you've
can't.
never asked me an important question.
No, yes, I have.
Please,
I
example.
I asked you about like where you came from in the moon. I made you that Muriel.
And we went to the blood moons. Well, we went to the snow moon, but you've met all of the elves.
Do I know anything about them? No. I know
And
there's a
why
war
don't you
going on your
ask a
planet.
question?
Hmm. I
No one
I'm not.
asks; they just assume.
Yeah, and I
So
always
ask a
assume
question.
too. No,
Ask
because
a
I want to.
question.
Can I ask you a question first?
That's what I'm telling you to do. Ask me anything.
Why didn't you dance with me?
Because there was someone I loved right behind you.
She was drinking.
So what? I drink.
Even even Jin danced with me. I
Yes.
You don't like me.
What? Why is this your main proof of me not liking you?
You never liked me.
I am in love with her. Of
I
course I'm gonna dance with her over you.
Yeah, I get that, but I thought we were friends, and I thought that's what friends do. I never had any real friends before.
And who knows, maybe afterwards I would have danced with you, but two of the planets I grew up knowing got engulfed in crystalline material.
And
It
if
was
it
kind of
haven't,
a lot
and
of
if
distraction.
that didn't happen, then I bet you wouldn't have done it.
Well,
I just don't believe you like me.
that's why I'm offering that we get to know each other a little bit better. That's why I offered to let you ask me anything about anything. I don't really care.
Hmm,
What do you want to know?
nothing right now.
Okay. Well, I can't control that. We should talk more. We should go do something that doesn't involve killing people or, a bounty at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, after that, Nova, you see her kind of like grab the tip of her nose and just kind of like, ugh. And she walks in. Well, hello, hello, how we doing? And she walks up to the table, not to
Just
the two
beat
of
you.
you.
Oh,
I'm gonna walk out.
Nova,
Yeah.
I didn't get to say it before, but I'm really sorry about the arm.
Already forgot about it.
Good. So we're okay.
Yeah. We all saw some crazy things in there. Don't really hold it against you. Plus, I'm not the one for holding grudges. That would be my better half.
I know.
And she says, actually, Jin, can I talk to you?
Sure.
And she pulls you over to another table, and Kane joins everybody else. So, Ataxia's been going through a lot. I'm sure you've noticed.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not planning out her life like some sort of maniacal sociopath, but I'm trying to get people around here to appreciate her a little bit more.
Yeah.
So would you mind talking to Ataxia sometime?
I would definitely do that. She's annoying sometimes, but there's something about her that I really like.
And Nova smiles, like very big actually, and
I thought I was muted.
she goes, yeah, maybe you should tell her that.
Maybe I will.
And she smiles and she sits back down beside Kane and she sort of like grabs your ear. Why didn't you say you liked her?
because I don't know how to express my feelings.
You should tell her next time you see her that you like her, 'cause I know you do.
I offered to take her somewhere.
Fair point. I don't know why I'm so angry. And she lets go. Well, now that that's over with. 2 veggie burgers, please. Alright, so, Kane, where have you tracked Miss Klein down to? What planet?
Hmm. I probably like one of like the regular cities. She could blend in pretty much anywhere. I'd probably recognize a few of the faces. But what are the inhabitable Earth or Terras currently?
So all but Terra 1 is habitable. There's 5 Terras in total. But Terra 1 is is the only one that's inhabitable. The rest of them,
Okay.
I think one of them might be restricted. Let me go ahead and check the manifesto. God, why do I write so much fucking lore?
Bro, you're asking me?
It's fair enough. Okay. God, okay. So,
I have my Google Drive up for the manifesto, so
Terra 2 is habitable. Terra 3 is habitable. Terra 4 is restricted. So that was the Terra you guys were just at. Terra 5 is also habitable. Also, Terra 5 can also be called All Terra.
okay. Let me look at each of these real quick. Give you one.
I can give you an overview.
Yeah.
Terra.
I think Terra 5 is
Terra
the
5.
best.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've tracked Miss Klein, who is one of your, we'll say, targets. You've tracked her down to Terra 5. You are in a pretty urban downtown area, but it's a much nicer city than you guys were just in. You have tracked her down to a specific bar called the Den of Thieves.
Okay. There's a
Uh,
few things I want to pick up before I go there, though.
okay, where are you going?
Okay. So, 1, I would like rope.
Okay.
2, gauze.
Okay.
3, some sort of mask.
Okay. What kind of mask?
Uh, I think he'll go for something similar to like the bottom half of Jin's, but like black and red.
Okay.
So kind of that smile on it.
Okay, so you get the bottom half of an Oni mask. It's a deep crimson. And you step into the Den of Thieves. You notice that there's a couple of people that you might be a little bit familiar with, but not 100%. The waiter at the bar is a Ray Doran, the faceless Terran-looking aliens. He's currently polishing a glass. It's pretty packed, honestly. There's like maybe 5 or 6 round tables, and the rest of them are booths and bar seats. And you see that at one of the bar seats. Describe what was it? Fuck, what was the name again?
Eleonora.
Eleonora. What does Eleonora Klein look like?
Which version? We'll go with probably a Terran.
Okay, so she has disguised herself as a Terran with curly, brown hair, darker complexion, with black, not black, but brown eyes. She's wearing a green jacket, and she's got a black undercoat or undershirt, and she's wearing just jeans and a pair of, we'll say, cowboy boots. Let's add a little bit of flair. She's got some cowboy boots on.
Yeah. Okay. So Kane at this point is not wearing what he normally does. I'd say he's probably not wearing his jacket. So probably just the undershirt, sleeves rolled up, and he's wrapped his hands like a boxer would, so they don't damage their hands.
Okay.
But he'll walk up behind her and tap her on the shoulder.
Now I gotta think of a voice.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Australian though, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh,
How can I
She
help
is not-
you?
He's going to speak in the Blood Moon language when he talks to her. We have another target for you.
You see her like look over both of her shoulders, and then you see her skin shift and change into the coloring of a blood elven woman with curly oh my god, white hair, darker skin, and white eyes. She goes, "All right, who's your target?"
It's a man of a weird culture. Samurai-looking fellow. I don't know if you learned like we did about the history, but odd, we believe he might be somewhere near,
All right.
and I will be going with you on this mission whenever you're ready.
I'm ready right now if you've got the credits.
I will transfer them as soon as I can.
Sounds good. Let's get
And
going.
I'll lead her out of the bar.
She gets out and she stretches, she shifts her skin and hair a couple of times to a couple different people. Should I just stay as the Blood Moon then?
I mean, it might be better if you go incognito.
Oh, alright, it's been a while since I've done something like that. And she switches to a Terran man with a balaclava on, and a tight black shirt and black sweatpants. Obviously, and you'd say the skin complexion is that of a more olive color. She goes, "Where are we going?"
Happening?
Huh?
Sorry, that keeps happening where I can't hear you guys. So I have to leave.
It's okay. She says, "Where are we going?"
Follow me, and we'll all head out of the bar.
Lead me. And yeah, she follows behind
Okay.
quickly, and she pulls out a small pistol and a silencer, and she tightens the silencer on it.
Okay. When we step out of the bar, I'm going to wrap the rope around her neck and choke her out.
Roll physique.
Okay. Let's hope. 9.
What are you? And she reaches back and she like punches you in the jaw. You could take a minor injury from that, but you are able to get her down and you drag her into an alleyway.
I want to take her to an abandoned building and tie her up.
All right. So, take her to an abandoned building. You have her tied up on a chair. There's peeling paint all over the walls. It's a concrete floor. And after about an hour of waiting, she wakes up and she's very groggy and she switches back into that Terran woman. She goes, "All right, what do you want? You want
Well,
money?"
Eleonora, it's great to see you again. It's been a while. And I'll take off the mask and see if she recognizes my face. Probably not.
She switches her shape to yours. Then she like looks down at herself. Kane, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be me.
She switches back to this time. She just switches to a white Terran woman with black hair that stretches down to her back. All right, what do you want?
I mean, as long as this goes well, both of us will leave here all right. I just need to ask you some questions.
What are your questions?
Give me just a second.
I don't really have time for this.
You won't be here long, I promise.
All right.
How many contracts have you taken out for the Blood Moon?
Oh, I'd say about 137.
That's a very specific number.
Keep track of my kills, not the faces.
Yeah, I know the feeling. So, and this is just a morality question, I guess. How do you feel bad for any of the things you've done?
She sighs and rolls her eyes. Of course not. Whoever gives me the money gets what they want. That's how it goes. You're a mercenary just like me. You know how this works.
Yeah, that's about what I thought. And Kane will walk up to her and throw a punch at her face.
Roll physique.
Okay. There's gonna be a lot of this, just to let you know. 4.
She says, before, like, you're walking towards her, she goes, "You know you're supposed to watch the hands, not the head, correct?" And she pulls the rope off of her, and she jumps up, and she grabs your neck and slams you to the ground.
Okay. While I'm on the ground, can I trip her?
Yeah, go ahead and roll physique.
11.
You wrap your legs around her abdomen and flip her down, and you are now on top of her. But she's still holding your neck. What do you do?
She's holding my neck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bash her head on the ground.
Okay. Roll physique.
12.
You pull her head back and you smash it on the ground, and you hear something in her neck go, and she goes, and she
And I'm gonna do it again.
yeah, and you do it again. Roll physique.
And again. And again. As much as I can, really.
Okay.
9.
Her form shimmers for just a moment, and she switches into a being that you don't recognize. Her hands become more tendril-like and wispy. Her neck shrinks in yours, and her neck elongates. A mouthful of razor-sharp teeth fills her mouth, and you can see she only has one eye. Why are you doing this?
Kane's not gonna say anything, but he's gonna cut his arm and stab her.
Roll physique.
6. Dang it.
She wraps her neck around your body and flings you against the wall, and you notice her posing figure now you dwarf her. She's about a foot taller than you, and she has multiple legs, and she almost slithers towards you. What's your problem, mortal?
Well, I really don't like you. And I'm gonna stab her at her again.
Okay, roll physique.
8.
You lunge forward and you stab her. Ah! She hits you again, and you're going to take a major injury as she cracks you across the jaw with one of her spindly hands. What do you do?
When I just cut her, could I take blood from her?
Yeah!
Okay.
Take some blood points from her.
Okay. And, I will, wrap the whip around her neck and try and choke her the best I can with whatever her neck really is.
Okay, roll physique.
8.
With this, you hear footsteps behind you, and you notice that as you hear the footsteps, you see her pulling out a large pistol, and she's about to point it at you, and you see a large swinging arm pull back, and a large blood axe barrels down at her, and it chops her head off, and you see Abel. Oh. I thought you were gone for there.
No, it would have been alright. I wanted to do more.
Well, I suppose you can take a blood then, eh?
Yeah. And I'll do that, of course.
Been a while since I've taken anybody else's blood, really. Ah. Well, that's that then,
Now
isn't
I
it?
have an edge.
So... what would this be? This would be a class... We'll say it's a class 1 attire. And I'm sure you already picked the name for it, or the upgrade for it.
I believe, if I remember what it was called, it was shifting or something like that.
Yeah, so you switch to that, and now you have the upgrades of that. He goes, could have just killed a baby. Wouldn't have put up that much of a fight.
Nah, she deserved it.
Fair enough.
I wish she just stayed tied up.
These things don't normally happen the way we want them to, baby brother.
Clearly. How did you find me again?
Spirit of the Snow Moon does a lot of the good things for me.
Yeah.
Well,
Clearly.
he goes, it was nice seeing you again. Stay in touch. And he winks and runs over to a glass window, and he jumps through it. And for a second, you think he falls to the ground, but then you look over, and he's not on the ground.
Yeah. So, can I do one thing before we leave my scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just say this happened? Because I don't want to do all the interactions. I want to take her head and send it to the Blood Moons.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can definitely happen. It's about, we'd say, 4 a.m. Everybody else is asleep, but you, Athena, you don't really sleep. You're sitting on the bed they assigned you, but for the life of you, if synthetic humans do get some sort of sleep, you're not having it right now. But you do daydream. You just think and ponder. Not much, really, just the color black. Deep and vivid. Empty. Black. And in this daydream, your corporeal form dissipates. And you're in a different place, for lack of a better term. You're in what appears to be a void, and you look down, and you're yourself. It feels like nothing happened, but you can gather that you may have been almost teleported here. You step forward, and your boots are covered in a moisture that you're not familiar with, and as you look down, you're in a puddle of this brackish black fluid that you remember from the administration. Step forward again, a pretty heavier splash. Step forward again, and slowly as you move, the liquid gets thinner and thinner until it's almost as thin as water as you splash through. And you look ahead of you and you see the figure that you saw before. It's mechanical wings folded, and it's hunched over, clawing at the water, picking it up and drinking it. You can see the different colors shifting in its crystalline black body. And it turns around and looks at you, and with its cracked crystal smile, "Hello. It's good to see you."
What? Who? What? There's so many questions.
Oh, so little time. I was hoping that you would have remembered. But when you were broken out of your crystalline form, you didn't take enough time to complete your metamorphosis.
You know, are you talking about how I can't remember anything from the past?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Do you know why?
Of course I know why. I'm a god.
Would you be so everly kind and to inform me on why I don't remember anything?
Oh, because you died.
I what?
You
What do you
died.
mean I just died? How?
You had a life, you lived that life, and then that life was snuffed away from you.
What? How?
A couple of heathens decided to take it upon themselves and murder you. Along with your entire family, I believe. But no worries. I saw potential in you, child, and he reaches over and he puts a hand on yours. It's very heavy, and he puts it on yours, and you almost buckle underneath the weight, but you're able to stay up. I saw potential in you that I haven't seen in quite some time. You know, these synthetic humans are the easiest to take control of.
And why didn't you?
Take control of you?
Yeah.
Well, because there was another synthetic human who was a little bit more easy to control.
Talking about Alphonse, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Why would you do that? Why, of all people, Alphonse? I mean, I only just met him, but he didn't seem like a bad person. I don't think he deserved that.
Because he was the easiest to lie to.
Because you can lie to someone doesn't mean you should.
But I sure do like it. And besides, if somebody told me that my wife was still alive, from being dead, of course, I would like to believe them. So that's what I told him. Little did he know is that he didn't need me to bring his wife back. She's still here.
Who's his wife?
Asking a lot of questions that you don't really want to know.
But I do. I'm in nothing but a state of confusion all the time.
It passes after a while. But if you really must know, the woman's name is Iolite Nevermore. And she is still alive. Just maybe not in the form you might think. Did you have any more questions for me?
Actually, one more.
Of course. I'm all ears.
Is there a way to get Alphonse back at all?
Oh, little girl. And you see the crystalline form shake and crack and crumble. Standing before you is Alphonse with his arms down. He says, I am Alphonse. And you are pushed from this void and back into your form. You look around and there's no black void around you, just the dark, empty barracks. Jin, where are you? Let's say it's about 4 weeks after the battle.
What was the question?
Where are you?
Are you on the ship? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm probably just meandering. Trying not to go into the chapel. I'll go into any other room.
Okay. We'll say you're in the research area. I'll say that Athena is here too, and she's working on a couple of things, keeping to herself, and you're just sort of watching. When the heavy blast door slides open, and Ataxia walks in.
Hey,
Hello.
can I talk to you?
Yes.
Where do you want to go?
Is it private or?
I mean, I know it's not particularly. I mean, you can stay here.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I am sorry. You were when we were at that place, and I kind of pushed you away, but you were just trying to help.
It's okay. I understand.
That's really.
So how have you been?
You know, living. How about you? I noticed you're not in your little place anymore. What's up?
Yeah. Just some stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about it right now.
Okay. Um. Oh, I guess I'll go then. I'm always here for you if you need it. I'll pat his back.
Of course. Same to you.
Bye.
You walk out the door. You walk out the door again, and standing there is Nova.
Oh, she's everywhere, isn't she?
That's it.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to say?
Well, I just assumed. Maybe you guys could hang out.
Sure.
I don't know why you're saying sure to me. I'm not the person that you'd be hanging out with.
I'll go back inside.
And for a second, Jen, you see the door open. You see Nova, and she nods at you, and then she walks away.
Do you want to hang out?
Of course.
Of course.
Yes.
Let's hang out.
Okay. What should we do?
Oh shit. I didn't think this far. Where are we?
You guys could be any number of places. You can pick a specific spot if you like.
What planet are we on?
What planet do you want to be on?
Oh.
Well, I'll list off the ones that are habitable if you like.
Sure.
There's Terra 1, which are like many different islands on a planet covered in a freshwater sea.
Wait a minute. Terra 1 is that?
No, Terra 2.
You played me like a fiddle, bro.
Terra 3 is mostly mountain areas. Terra 4 is restricted, so you guys legally can't go there. In Terra 5, it's the biggest, most Earth-like planet there is. There's New Korea, which you guys are already familiar with. You guys can't go to Forus because it's a gas giant. Matau 4, which is the jungle planet that you guys went to, where you guys actually first met Jin. And Grudea is also uninhabitable. So currently, Earth 2, 3, 4, or Earth 2 and 3, 5, New Korea, and Matau 4.
I'm gonna ask Jen. What planet did your parents live on? We can go there, and we can just hang out there.
I mean,
And so if you're gonna, since you're gonna probably see them again soon, because you said you wanted to, it'd just be two birds, one stone.
there's not really much to do there other than see my family.
There's nothing there at all?
Not really. What I did as a child was run around the swamps and kill giant bugs sometimes.
Oh my god, you killed giant bugs.
Well, they weren't giant, they were baby versions of them, but yes.
Can we go kill giant bugs?
Sure.
Or we could just go out to, like, I don't know. What do you want to do? This is we're compromising here.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta have something you want to do.
Can I actually talk to you about something?
Sure,
Can we just go a little bit more private?
sure.
Athena waves you guys goodbye as you step into the office area.
So, the reason I don't want to talk about what's going on, it has to do with my god. He's asked me to do something that I don't know if I can do, and I don't know
What
how
is
to handle
it?
this anymore. I don't want to say, but it's something that I don't know if I want to do. I see. I was chosen to do this, but I never asked for it. These recent years, I've been asking myself if this is really how my life is going to go.
Do you not want it to go like this?
I don't know. I'm really confused.
Well, what does your heart want? Or is your heart confused? Wait a minute.
What I really want most of all is to bring my family back together, bring their clans together. My father and uncle, they don't see eye to eye, to say the least.
Well, I'm sure there's a better way to do it than hold on.
All right, continue.
So, what were we talking about? Oh yeah. Well, so I'm sure there's a different way to do it than what you're thinking of doing, or what you're not so sure about doing.
It's true. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I really don't know what I want to do.
Well, you always got time.
So you'd think, but my lord is very demanding.
I'm sure he's understanding.
Well, he's the god of war, so
And probably not. Well, if he's a bit of a bitch and rushing you, then no, then he's got control. He's getting whatever from you, so you should be in charge.
I just
It should be
feel
on your terms.
I need his power, or else I'm nothing.
You're not nothing without him.
I've never known anything but him, and I'm afraid to see what I am without him.
Listen, whatever you don't need him, and I'm sure whatever you are without him, you'd be perfect. You're a great guy on your own without him. I'm sure you are capable of things.
Even if I wanted to, I'm not saying that I do, but even if I wanted to, I wouldn't know how to separate from him. He would just take my soul, and I would be left a husk.
And we definitely don't want that. I'm sure there's a way for everything.
Probably I would have to do more research on my own planet.
Yeah. Just think positive.
That is actually one reason I want to see my family, is to see if they have any answers on this. Also, I just want to let you know that I do like you, by the way.
You do?
I do.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I like you too.
Good.
I'll say we can end it right there. So, Jin has brought you guys all together, letting you know that he would like to go back to his home planet and stay there a while. And everybody else kind of wants to lay low. And they think that it would be nice, especially Nova. She's never seen the planet of Modus. She's never even heard of it, but she'd love to go see it.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, same.
I'll say that
So,
if, Athena, if you want to roll an expertise roll.
Can?
It's a small. You'd call it like a dwarf planet almost. It's very small.
Okay.
But yeah, Jin has decided to invite you guys to come to his home planet and join him in meeting his family.
Probably get a big
Yay!
mistake.
So, big bugs and a different culture, right? That's about all we're getting there.
Basically. Also, it's very customary to bow, especially when making introductions. It's a sign of great respect.
Do we gotta take off our shoes?
Well, only when you enter homes.
And what's the weather like?
It's very humid. It's pretty much swamp-like.
How nervous should we be out of 10?
Well, I don't know. Just steer clear from the forest, well, the deep forest.
Are you... How not me should I be to your parents?
Respectful, I would say.
Heck, Lotta.
I mean, you can be yourself. Just bow, and they'll understand.
Okay.
Nova looks over and she says, "Be yourself. Just be respectful, okay?
Okay, Mom.
Just try and help."
On our way there, I need to drop off this box at the post office, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. Could do that. You guys make a quick pit stop at a future post office floating on an asteroid.
There's a note inside the box that says, "I'll see you in hell."
That's probably literally what it says in that box.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And the guy takes it. He goes, I'll get it to wherever it needs to go."
I appreciate that.
And you guys take off, and you head to a small, very green dwarf planet. You enter the atmosphere, and like you said, there's a little bit of a fog going around. When you guys touch down outside of, we would describe it as modern, but to you guys, it's very old looking. But very traditionally Japanese. You guys touch down on a small hangar bay that appears to be very, very unwell kept. But you guys are welcomed, and standing out front of the hangar bay, waiting to greet you, is an older Japanese man. Jin, would this be your uncle or your father that you're going to see first?
I would probably say my uncle first.
So you see a Japanese man. He's lanky and tall, and oddly enough, he has one of his legs is completely metal from the thigh down. And he's wearing traditional Japanese robes. And he says, "My nephew, it's great to see you."
Uncle. And I'm going to bow really low. And then go in for a hug.
He while Jin's bowing, the uncle looks eyes the rest of you over.
I'll also bow.
Same.
I'll say hi and wave my hand up in the air, and then I'm like, "Oh shit," and then bow.
And of course, he receives your hug. "It's been too long. I've missed you."
I've missed you as well.
And he walks you guys through the town. You see lots of traditional Japanese housing. You see a couple of not horses, but horse-like animals that are very large and have smushed faces. Not literally, just like very, and they walk by and they jitter as they walk by. You see one of a cart being pulled along behind it and has multiple different chunks of large insectoid creatures on the back of it. And he looks at all of you as you guys stand outside of a very nice house, very ornate and beautiful, surrounded by flowers. And the man says, "Welcome to the Yamamoto household. My name is Zenshiro. And the rest of you, other than my nephew, are?"
I'm Kane.
A blood elf. I'm sure you're very talented with a blade.
You'd be correct.
And the rest of you?
I'm Athena.
You would be a synthetic human, if I can tell by the eyes.
It would also be correct.
And he grabs your hand and he kisses it very politely, like some old timey shit. He's like, and a lovely one at that. And who are you?
Hi, I'm Ataxia.
Ah, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, let's not make too much idle chatter out here when we could do it in the much warmer safety of my home. And he walks you guys in and he kicks off his sandals and he steps in and stretches. And at the front door you see an elderly woman about the same age as Zenshiro. And he kisses her on the cheek. And he walks in and you see two young boys bow to him. And he laughs and he picks them up with both arms. Ah, it is good to see my grandchildren. And he sets them down. And they look at you guys inquisitively and they sort of talk to each other. They're twins with bowl haircuts. Not bowl haircuts, but like you like the shaved kind of like side with the top is kind of poofy, like that kind of haircut. And they talk to each other and then they run off. And the man says, "Excuse my children, or grandchildren, they're very energetic."
They seem lovely.
Thank
They've
you.
gotten so big.
Time flies.
Duh.
And Zenshiro sits you all down at this large table, and you all kneel instead of sit at regular tables. There's like these padding that you can sit on. And he sits down, and he says, "Before we continue, Jin, if you'd like to plug your ears or something, we'll be saying a prayer to our new god."
New god.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm getting used to it myself, but the name appears to be something along the lines of Daidar.
See. I would like to hear this prayer.
He places his hands one on top of another, and he bows his head, and his wife sits beside him. He goes, "Dear Daidar, we would like to receive this meal with no hatred, and we would like for you to protect us from all things. May your destruction destroy our enemies. Thank you." And you see robot helpers fly out of the kitchen at almost pretty fast speeds, and they begin laying out. You would call this some sort of like steak dinner. Lots of different side dishes. I'm not going to go in and describe it because all of the foods are very different than what you're used to, served in ceramic white bowls. But you do notice that the main course appears to be insect legs that have been fried.
I have a name.
Yeah.
It's fried chittermite.
Okay. And he goes, "Please enjoy the chittermite. My wife slaved for hours over it." And he leans over and he begins putting some rice on his plate. And he takes a couple of slices of the chittermite steak and he puts it on his plate along with some other vegetables.
This looks delicious. I haven't had a home-cooked meal in a long time.
Nothing but the best for my nephew.
Thank you.
And yeah, you guys enjoy a nice chittermite steak, and you guys try a little bit of it. It's a bit mealier than traditional like beef steak. It's not bad, just strange. You feel like this is the kind of thing that could be delicious if you were used to it, but as of right now, you're not exactly loving it. Except for Jin. I'm sure Jin likes it.
Definitely.
So, what brings you to our humble abode today?
Well, there's something I wish to discuss with you in privacy later, after dinner, but
Of,
I,
of course.
have you, out of curiosity, I already know the answer, but have you spoken to Father?
Up until this point, Zenshiro has been very jovial, not jovial, but been very kind and polite. But when you ask of your father, Zenshiro says, and with a very dour tone, and his face switches from the pleasant smile to a grimace. Last time I saw you, Jin, we told you not to speak of your father in this house.
I know. I did not mean to disrespect you, especially in your own home. I was just curious.
After we eat, I would prefer it if you all found some other place to stay. We're currently booked up with the two boys. I have no doubt you'll find somewhere nice to stay.
Is the Full Moon Inn still in town? Is that still open?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we can go there.
If you do visit your father, do not tell me about it, as I will be extremely angry. But I will not stop you. You are a grown man.
Of course.
And after this, you guys all the attitude is sort of shifted, and it's very awkward. You guys leave, and you notice that throughout all of this, the wife stays quiet, and you come to find out that she's actually mute. And she speaks in Japanese Sign Language that Jin and Zenshiro can understand. Zenshiro gestures for you all to leave once you are done, and he shakes everybody's hands, except the two ladies. He kisses their hands. It appears to be a very formal greeting in this culture. And he goes, Jin, while I do not understand your choices in life, I will respect who you are, but that doesn't mean I have to like it.
Of course. May I still speak with you privately?
Suppose we have a little bit of time before I must put the boys to bed. Come.
I think we'll all go to where's this hotel located, or the inn, or whatever.
It's a couple of streets down. You can't miss it.
We should probably all head out then.
It was nice meeting
Probably a
you.
good idea.
It's nice meeting you too.
He nods. And he leads you, Jin, to his room. And he says, what do you like? What would you like? A brandy or sake?
Sake, please.
And he pours you a glass and he sets it in front of you. And you take in your surrounding. You haven't seen much of this office, but you do know it a little bit. You see two short blades hung up on the wall, along with some ninja-inspired armor with different highlights of a yellow. No, we'll say a silver light that highlight the armor. And he sits down. What is it you wish to speak to me about?
Well, my old sensei has asked me to do something I don't know if I can. And I've been thinking, I don't know, maybe if I were to be able to separate myself from him in any way, if you would have any information on how to go about that.
He sighs. Separation from Senso is a hard one for everybody. But
Especially the chosen one.
especially the chosen one. I would not take it lightly, and as much as I hate your father, I would suggest you speak with him about this, as it has been a long time since I've practiced Lord Senso's teachings. So I would recommend speaking with him about it. But that's all I have to say about that.
Uncle,
Yes.
I never asked for this. I was born into it, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid what it's going to do to me.
When you chose to leave, that was you choosing.
I know.
I have important business to deal with, Jin.
Of course.
I suggest
Yes.
you get some rest.
Yes, Uncle. I'm going to stand up and bow and then head out.
He nods. After waiting a little bit outside, you guys, Jin catches up with you and you begin walking down the street. And you get to the, what was it, Full Moon Inn?
Yeah.
And you don't really know the language, but you do see... Actually, Athena, you can go ahead and roll for it. To see if you understand Japanese. Expertise.
Okay. 9.
It's a little shaky, but you get the gist, and you get to a large building brandished with the Full Moon Inn in Japanese on it, with a large blue crescent moon. And you guys... Yeah?
I don't know the language, but do I know any of the history about this place or about this culture?
Roll expertise with disadvantage.
7.
Maybe you've heard of it in a storybook once, but you're not 100% familiar.
Okay.
And the language appears to be that of a dead language. So you guys
Not
get in.
Nihongo.
You guys get to Full Moon Inn. You walk inside, very wooden, and there's lots. The style is very, very light and minimalist. The doors appear to be sliding paper doors, and there's an elderly woman at the table. Children.
Hello, ma'am.
Ah, Jin Yamamoto.
Yes.
It has been a while.
Taz, how have you been? How's your husband?
He's great. I don't imagine you've kept up, but he is dealing with a little bout of sickness recently that we can't really track. But if you would like to see him, I don't see why we couldn't do that. But not tonight, he's asleep.
Of course, of course.
And I believe I will waive the inn fees for however long you stay. It's been so long since I've had a Yamamoto in my house.
Thank you, you honor me.
Of course. And she bows to you.
I bow back.
I assume you'll all want individual rooms.
I'll take one with the other elf right there.
She goes, of course. Horrible place for a honeymoon.
What?
And
Was that? It was very beautiful.
you don't have to lie. And she opens all of the rooms for you guys. And your rooms are very nice. Again, very minimalist, not much to see. There are TVs in there, so you guys can get your fill of that. But Jin, it's about an hour later. You're sitting in your room, and you look out the window, and you see a figure for just a moment, and you see a shuriken thrown in, and it hits the wall. And you see on it, you see a piece of paper that says, "Have your friends meet us here," and it gives you coordinates. And it's marked with the symbol of the Sensei no Ha. Senso no Ha.
Okay. Wait, is it nighttime or
It's getting there, yeah?
does it have a time to meet?
Yeah, it gives you as soon as possible. What do you do?
I mean, probably just wait until the morning.
Okay. So it gets
Wait.
to the...
I knock on Jin's door.
Ooh.
Hello?
How'd it go?
About as well as expected.
Damn.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
He said the matter we were speaking about earlier, that I should speak to my father to see how I can solve that.
Alright, I just wanted to check in. Good luck.
Thank you.
I'll close the door.
Okay.
And I leave.
So you guys wait till morning, and Jin, do you say anything about this?
Yeah, I'll go around to the rooms and let them know, see if they want to come, but they don't have to.
Okay. What's the consensus?
I'll go.
I'll go.
Okay.
Nova stays back. She does have a lot of work to do, and obviously the captain is still on the ship.
Is Aqua still on the ship, or is she with?
She went with you guys, but you kind of lost track of her after a bit. She doesn't really partake in you guys' events.
Yeah.
She's kind of around as background.
Classic Aqua.
So you guys rent a buggy, and it takes you out to through a wooden bridge that goes over a large bit of swampland. And you get to a bit more of a marshy field, and you guys see a fire in the not like a forest fire, just like a bonfire in the distance. After a bit of walking from where the buggy left you guys, you get up onto this clearing, and you see a vast expanse of what appears to be a sort of makeshift village made out of different tents and such, all marked with a familiar symbol to Jin, but not to you guys. You guys walk in, and surprisingly enough, you see two figures with armor not exactly alike, but very similar to Jin's, cross two large swords as you guys try to enter. Who would like entrance into the Senso no Ha?
I am Jin Yamamoto.
One of them eyes you over. And one to the right pulls off his mask, and he puts it on the ground. And he's a burly, large man, and he's got a thick gray beard and long gray hair tied back. And he goes, Musuka! Means son.
Shit.
What do you say?
Father!
do you really?
No.
Okay, what do you say?
Father, is that really you?
Of course! All these wrinkles and I'm still the same man!
You have gotten large.
Watch it. And he runs over to you, and he just bear hugs you. And yeah, it's at this point that you guys notice he's like 7 feet tall.
Holy shit.
And he picks up Jin, who is now dwarfed by this man, and he almost spins you around like a kid before putting you back down. And he puts his large hand on your head. It's been too long!
It has.
And who are these lovely people?
These are my friends.
Introduce yourselves!
I am Pain of the Blood Moons.
A blood moon, eh? And he walks over and he picks you up, and he looks you over, like twists your body. He picks you up like a kid, and he just looks you over. Ha ha! Never seen one of your kind around here. And you! And he looks over at Athena.
Very uncomfortable.
And he looks over at Athena.
My name's Athena.
He picks you up too, and he looks you over. Synthetic human, very heavy. And Ataxia, he looks at you. You?
I'm Ataxia!
And he picks you up too, and you are the lightest of the body. Sort of like throws you up in the air. Huh? Sturdy.
Wait, come back up.
Huh?
Already picked up again.
He does it again, and he throws you up again. Hell yeah! And he puts you back on the ground.
Hell yeah!
All right, welcome to the family. It's good to see you all. Jin, of course, most of all. And he leads you guys through, and you see tons of people sort of like looking at Jin and waving. And you see Jin's father looks at a group of younger ladies, and he sort of flexes very, very. You would call it seductively if that wasn't Jin's dad. Oh, and he walks you guys through to the middle of the village, and he sits you all down on these large stumps, and you hear a band play a very, very happy song. It has been too long. Oh boy, lots of good stories, lots of good fights, huh?
Definitely.
Still as soft-spoken as your mother, and he slaps you on the back. And he sits down at a stump that sort of like, it doesn't buckle, but it definitely shifts under his heavy weight. And he leans over and he puts one hand on his knee. So, what brings you to this side of the galaxy?
I actually need to speak to you about something later, of course, after this, but...
Of course. But let's not rush things. We have a party to be thrown.
Definitely.
And it's about an hour where everybody gets things set up, and this place with the heavy red tents is shifted around, and there's more room for all the people to gather around. And you guys, there's a lot of drinking. When I say a lot of drinking, I mean like a fuck ton of drinking. Like more drinking than you would think any human being could possibly do.
Kane's not gonna drink it.
And there's lots of people dancing and partying. And you see some of them have guns, and they point them away from you guys, and they shoot off in tandem. And Jin's father goes to you people who look a little bit concerned. He goes, "Don't worry, they're blanks." And he walks over to the rest of you, and he goes, "It has been too long since I've seen unfamiliar faces. Let's get to know each other."
You have baby pictures?
No.
I would love to see baby.
Please,
I would
no,
love to see
no.
I
these.
would love that.
He looks at Jin and goes, "I think we've got a couple," and he elbows you.
Ugh, please.
Please,
I love
please show
this.
us.
He says, "Wait here," and he comes back after about 5 minutes, and he has a tablet, and it's cracked, but you can see everything. And he pulls it out. He just shows you pictures of a young Japanese boy.
I'm so glad this happened.
One of the pictures is of him in a large mask, looks very similar to his now. Ah, this is my favorite. Look at Nusugo, so small, so brave.
Oh, look how cute you were.
You're so cute.
He's so tiny.
Us Yamamoto men, we get bigger with time. As you can see, and he flexes again. So, would you like to go speak of this matter elsewhere?
Just one moment. Ataxia, would you like to join me in one of our traditional dances?
What?
Would you like to join me?
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Jin's dad, he goes, wait, before you dance. And he walks up to the group of people, and he pulls out a little slip of sheet music, and he gives it to a group of people playing instruments. And he goes, "You play this or you die." And he walks back over. He goes, "This is my favorite song. It's me and your mother's song, Jin."
I remember.
And a slightly less jovial song, but still very nice plays, and you can see groups of women and men and women and women and men and men join the dance floor, and they begin dancing a little bit. It's not really like a slow dance, but it is sort of like a two people dance. And he pushes you both on the back into the group, and he goes, "Go on, dance! It's not that hard! You'll get used to it!"
Yeah.
So both of you roll physique to dance.
Oh.
10.
This makes sense.
It does, it does.
Jin, you're keeping very much in time and you're doing very well. It's sort of like, it's just a little shimmy with an occasional clap, clap, and then you guys just dance a little bit more and clap, clap. But Ataxia is trying her best, and like she's always like one clap off. She's like, it's like clap, clap, and you guys try your best, and you see a couple people getting embarrassed, and like giving like secondhand embarrassment, giving them dirty looks, and you hear one of the men go, "You suck."
You swallow.
And Jin's father goes, "Yeah, he does. Where is he?" And he runs over to the other guy and tackles him. "Don't say that!" And he backhands him. "That's my son."
Great, that's great.
I love your father.
Yes, he's something else.
He's an eccentric character.
I love him.
I know, right?
So after a bit of dancing, the party dies down a little bit, and everybody starts heading back. There's still a couple of troopers carrying on, drinking and dancing a bit more. And your father, clearly a bit more drunk than he was before, sits down beside you, Jen, and he puts an arm around you. "So, would you like to go to my quarters?"
Yes.
And he takes you back, and he takes you to a rather large tent. The rope is golden that holds it up, and he opens it, and he sits you down. And he sits down across from you on this war desk. He goes, "My son, Musuko. It's been far too long."
It has. I hope you forgive me for that.
"There's nothing to forgive, my son. You're a young man still, much younger than I am, at least. I'd much rather you go find yourself than come back as a shell of who you were. So, what matter do you come to me with?"
Well, don't get angry, but I spoke with Uncle.
"Oh, Zenshiro is a bit of a fool, but he's not without his wisdom."
Yes. So I have something that I want to talk to you about. I don't know, maybe I should wait until you're not so drunk.
"I've been drunk almost your entire life. No time to get picky."
That's fair. I think I want to separate from Lord Senso.
Really?
Yes?
Oh. Huh.
I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm very confused and afraid, and I don't know.
Well, I understand. Lord Senso is often a dick, but he does keep us safe.
He does. But he asked me to do something that I don't know if I can do.
What is it he asked you to do?
He asked me to kill one of my friends.
Ah. I would venture a guess to say it's not one of the ones you brought tonight, huh? Oh.
Yeah.
I won't ask which one.
Thank you.
It's none of my business until they turn up dead on my grounds. Oh. Well, the best advice I can offer you is you are currently Senso's chosen one. But maybe he chose wrong.
I never asked for this. And I never wanted to kill Mother. It was my fault she died. Just because I was born and I was chosen.
No. My son. There's a lot of things that you are. But you are not the murderer of my wife. That title belongs to your uncle.
What do you mean?
He never told you.
Told me what?
He was the one who actually killed your mother.
That's a lie.
How?
I don't know, but it has to be.
Well, there's a lot of things I can do, but convincing you probably isn't one of them.
How did he do it? I don't understand.
There was a time when we thought she was dead before then. But she came to me in the night, said she was in hiding. Told me she was hiding from him. And I never saw her again.
I will slaughter every last one of them. No. It can't be true. No.
Musuko, this is the truth.
Is this the reason why our clans are separated?
It is the biggest reason, yes.
Why have you not attacked him yet? Why have you not...
I have. Have you seen the bloody stump that is his leg?
It was you?
It was me. I attacked him. And I intend to kill him.
If this is true, he must die. They all must die if this is true. If he killed my mother, he must die.
It is true. And we will kill him.
Please, Father, allow me to rejoin the ranks and help you defeat him, please.
Musuko. And he stands up to his full height. Of course.
I'm gonna grab his hand.
And he shakes it. And I think that's where we'll end it.